Shalom and welcome to another installment of Apostles of GMS, giving all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Today's topic is going to be entitled Esau is the End of the World. And you can read that scripture. And you know what I want you to do? Go to the top verse and we're going to just read through it, okay?
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 1. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Yeah, so it's all about Jacob and Esau, man. And we're going to have to go back to Genesis 25 and 19, Obadiah, all the scriptures that speak on Esau, all right?
Yeah, because, see, there's key things that are left in the scriptures to know what time the Lord would be coming back. And that's why the prophets in the past, whenever they would see certain visions, or even before they saw visions, they wanted to know. They always asked the Lord, when is going to be the end of the world? Because they understood that once the end of the world came, that Israel was going to be set back up into power and into order. This is, real quick, this is the book of 1 Peter chapter 1. I'll start at verse 8. Whom having not seen, you love, dealing with Yahweh Shai, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And whom though now you see him not, yet believing, you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. Verse 9. Receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you, searching what manner of time the Spirit of Yahweh Shai, which was in them, did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of Yahweh Shai and the glory that should follow. So basically, that's what the prophets in the ancient times were looking for. They weren't looking for no family matters, no family values, finding a good job, building up an empire on the planet Earth. They were looking for the kingdom of heaven, for the salvation, because they understood that once the kingdom of heaven was established, everything was going to be in righteousness, and we would be ruling over all nations. What greater gift than that? You have something?
Yeah, the precept for you. Dealing with the same topic. Second Ezra, back in 2nd Ezra again, the 9th chapter. We're talking about the Most High gave signs of when we would know that we were at the end of the Esau's rulership. Now, in Ezra's, and when you read up, like if you go a chapter before, like even to the 8th chapter of 2nd Ezra, when you read all of this, and you read all these chapters, Ezra's was seeing the visions, man. And the angel, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, by way of the angels, was talking to Ezra's, right? So Ezra's, when you read up into like the 8th chapter, he was telling you, he pretty much asked the same question that the 12 disciples asked Yahweh Shai about, when are we going to know? Hey, the prophets and disciples of ancient times, they wanted to know when the end of Esau's rulership was going to be. Now,
that's right.
We was going into this last week, I believe, like the disciples and the prophets in them, they were under the impression that they thought that the kingdom of heaven that we waiting for now was going to come in their lifetime. right? At that time, like back there during the ancient world, but it wasn't. They didn't understand that, and Yahweh Shai had to explain that to them. But Ezra's, the 9th chapter and the 1st verse, 2nd Ezra's and the Apocrypha, right? This is Ezra's. And then the angel answered him. It's the angel answering his question, right? He said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, right? And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. Now I'm going to stop real quick. He said, measure thou the time. Right. Now, we did that. Now, a lot of you guys were talking shit about us, about the year 2000 thing, right? Yeah, the year 2000, that was a false prophecy. That proves you guys are false prophets, because we got videos of y'all saying that the kingdom was going to come before the year 2000. But what we were doing, we were just, hey, man, we were measuring the time. And we were also hastening to the day. So, and the reason we said that, because, well, number one, that's what we were taught, but also, too, we were going according to the prophecies. Like, well, look, we were seeing things happening according to what the scripture said. Well, damn, according to, man, we got to be close. And then we doing that now. Okay, the year 2000 came. That wasn't the time, but like I said, we still doing the same thing. We're looking at the prophecies. Well, Iran, things are getting hot in Iran, and this is happening, and look what Esau is doing over here with the police state. You're supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be measuring the time diligently, and it said diligently. Meaning you're supposed to be watching the news, watching out for things that's going on. The prophecies, man, not sitting there watching, like I said, Jerry Springer or goddamn Real Housewives, Hip Hop Housewives of Atlanta and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so hey, man, that's the mentality you're supposed to be in. So we in the right spirit. That's what we're doing.
If I may make one point on what you said, Apostle. Yeah, and then, you know, as far as the time frame is concerned, so you guys are looking at the time as far as Esau, what Esau has out here. We don't know what year we're really in, you know, because the times that Esau has is totally different from our calendar year, you know. So the times that it could be less than 2015, or it could be 2030 for all we know. So their time is totally off. So if you try to base what the scriptures say according to Esau's time, you're always going to be off, because Esau's time is off. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, because the scripture said he have changed times and days and years. He changed it. That's why you got a leap year. Yep. This damn devil, when we're coming into the fall, so pretty soon, what is it, daylight saving time, we're going to be over. And then we're going, like you said, you have to set the clocks back. Okay, set your clocks back. Remember, everybody, set your clocks back. Then when the summertime, okay, remember, everybody on the radio, set your clocks forward. That the fuck? Time is supposed to be just one set thing, man. All right, I'm going to read this. 2nd Ezra 9:2. Then shalt thou understand. Right? Well, I'm going to go back. I'm going to just read it from the top. This is the angel answering Ezra's. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the sign pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right? I'm going to keep reading, 3rd verse. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, there was just a big earthquake in Indonesia, right? And uproars of the people in the world. We've been seeing that for the past 5 years. That Egypt thing went down, and Greece, over here in America, they had that Occupy Wall Street thing. They got different things going on now. People protesting because niggas are getting killed. That's uproar. That's uproars of the people that the scriptures talked about, right? 4th, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? Beginning, right? The beginning of what? The beginning of creation. The Most High was dealing with the prophets from the beginning. He was to the time of Adam. The Most High was revealing unto man that there was going to come a time that he was going to set things right in the earth, right? For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning, right? Meaning like the beginning of creation itself. Also the beginning of rulerships. The Babylonian Empire came into power. It began and they ruled the Greek Empire. Then the Romans came into power, and but they had an end too. So America, which is the rebirth of Rome, right? Or I'm sorry, really, yeah.